Imagine walking into a busy restaurant, filled with laughter and the irresistible aroma of fresh food, without realizing that among the regular customers is the founder of that place himself. He doesn't wear a suit, he doesn't arrive with pomp, and no one suspects that the man in the sweatshirt and jeans is, in fact, the visionary behind it all. But for John Carter, CEO of Haven Bites, these undercover visits weren't about business, they were about connection. He knew what it was like to be hungry, he knew what it was like to fight to survive. And on that cold night, amid the hustle and bustle of the restaurant, a simple gesture would forever change the lives of two children and reaffirm the purpose that made him get there. John Carter was no ordinary CEO. While many leaders of large companies limited themselves to meetings and spreadsheets, he preferred something different. Walking discreetly among the customers of his own restaurants, observing, listening, feeling every detail. Founder of Haven Bites, a chain famous for its welcoming atmosphere and affordable meals, John has never forgotten where he came from. He grew up in poverty, knew hunger firsthand and knew the weight of each coin counted before a meal. Therefore, away from the spotlight and the luxuries he could have, he wore simple clothes and mingled with the regulars at his restaurants. It wasn't just to check out the service or the taste of the dishes, it was to really understand the people who made this place a success. And on that cold Friday night, without anyone knowing, one of those visits would change everything. Have you ever been through a time when every penny made a difference? Where a meal wasn't just food but true relief? That's exactly what John witnessed that night. While waiting in line to place your order, something caught your eye. Behind him, two boys whispered among themselves, counting coins with shaking hands. Their clothes were worn out, and the expression on their faces was one of uncertainty. "Do we have enough for a burger?" asked the eldest, Liam, to his younger brother, Noah. The smaller one opened his hand, revealing a handful of coins. "I don't know, maybe we can share." John felt a tightness in his chest. He's been in that place before, hungry, ashamed, not knowing where his next meal would come from. Can you imagine the anguish of a child having to choose between eating or going hungry? Without hesitation he made a decision. As soon as he reached the register, he looked at the clerk and smiled. "Please add 2 meals to my order. They can choose whatever they want." The boys were in shock. "Sir, you don't need to do this," Liam said hesitantly. But John just shook his head and replied in a gentle tone, "Everyone deserves a good meal." And so, without knowing it, those 2 boys were about to have their lives changed forever. After the meal, something inside John made him look at the boys again. They were sitting at a table in the corner, eating silently, almost as if they were devouring food that they didn't know when they would see again. Liam, the eldest, looked a little uncomfortable, but he couldn't hide the gratitude in his eyes. When they finished, the boy got up and approached John with teary eyes. "Thank you, sir," he said quietly, almost without the strength to express what he felt. "We haven't eaten properly in a while." John, with a sinking heart, asked softly, "Where are your parents?" Liam hesitated for a moment as if the words were difficult to come out, but then in a firmer voice, he replied, "Our mother passed away last year. Our father, he's trying but he lost his job. It's difficult." The weight of that response fell on John, who felt a wave of empathy taking over his body. He knew what it was like to grow up not knowing what the future held, and he also knew what it meant to have someone to believe in you, even in the most difficult times. "Do you guys come here often?" he asked, trying to understand a little more about the boys' routine. Liam, with a shy expression, admitted, "Not really. We just stop by and look inside, but it's our favorite place." And that was when John made a decision that would change the course of that story. He took the card out of his wallet and handed it to Liam. "Take this," he said, "come whenever you want. When you are hungry, show this card and you will have whatever you need. No questions, no rush." Liam's eyes filled with tears. "But, why are you being so nice to us?" John smiled, a genuine smile, and replied, "Because someone once did that for me." And at that moment he knew that, no matter how simple it was, that gesture would have a profound impact on the lives of those boys. The impact of that small act of kindness stayed with John for days. He knew he couldn't stop there. That family and so many others in their community needed more than just a plate of food. They needed opportunities, a path to rebuild their lives. So the next day, John gathered his team and did something no one expected. He decided to take action. When talking to Sarah, the attendant who had witnessed the boys' situation, John discovered that Liam and Noah lived in a peripheral neighborhood, where families struggled to survive, children played in the streets with torn shoes, and many adults were unemployed, waiting for a chance. John's heart sank, but at the same time he felt a growing determination. He knew he could do more. "We need to act. Let's create something that can really change people's lives here," he told his team. This is how Haven Cares was born, a program aimed at providing free meals to families in need and, even more importantly, offering job opportunities to those who were looking for a chance to start over. But John didn't stop there. He knew that real impact would come from concrete actions. So he personally visited Liam and Noah's father, offering him a job at the restaurant. It was an opportunity for reconstruction, a first step so that he could finally provide a more dignified future for his children. A week later, John hosted a special event to launch Haven Cares. The community was invited, and that night, everyone received a free meal, accompanied by a message of hope and solidarity. On stage, John addressed the audience with words that would touch everyone's heart. This restaurant isn't just a business. It's a place where people should feel safe, cared for, and valued. I know what it's like to struggle, what it's like to feel like things will never get better, but I also know that with a little kindness, we can change lives. The applause from the audience was deafening. Liam and Noah, their eyes shining with emotion, watched from afar as their father shook John's hand, grateful for the gesture that forever changed the trajectory of his family. From that moment on, Haven Bites was no longer just a restaurant, it was a beacon of hope for an entire community. The impact of Haven Cares was immediate. The restaurant has become a symbol of change, of a united community, and how kindness can make all the difference. But for John, the true value was in something simpler, seeing the smile on the face of someone who had been forgotten by society. He knew that the true legacy of his work was not in its financial success, but in the lives he helped transform. While Liam, Noah, and their father began a new journey, with the stability that the opportunity to work at the restaurant brought, John continued with his unwavering purpose of never losing touch with people's realities. He continued his visits in disguise, always looking for ways to help, listen, and act. And despite being the CEO of a successful restaurant chain, he never sought public recognition. For him, a person's smile, the relief in the eyes of those who received a hot meal or a job, were worth more than any title or award. Today, Haven Bites isn't just a place you go to eat. It's a reminder that with a simple act of kindness, we can change lives forever. And as the restaurant continues to grow and impact more and more people, John continues to be living proof that, even in the business world, humanity must always come first. If you like this moving story which shows the power of kindness and caring for others, don't forget to subscribe to the Stories That Touch the Soul channel for more stories that touch the heart. And, of course, leave your like to support more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.